Hello, Justin the Bostonian here, and I am finally going to talk about the Uncharted movie. Wait, and for those of you guys don't know, I have played most of the games, so I do know this series pretty well, though. Um, so before I talk about this one, I'm going to quickly talk about the ones that I have played. The only two games I haven't played for Uncharted was Golden Abyss, which I have heard good things about. I think that's the only Uncharted game that wasn't made by Naughty Dog, but I have heard a lot of really good things about it. And the other one was The Lost Legacy, where you get to play as Chloe, and it takes place during the events of Uncharted 4. That I also have heard that got good reviews as well. So, so I will talk about the first four games in general. On the first one, I played the first one on the Nathan Drake collection, for the first time, and I really liked it. It was a very fun, very well focused game. And I thought, so I do love the character of Nathan Drake. So really like the first one. The second one, that was the first Uncharted game I played and I've beaten. I've beaten that game on normal mode, and that was actually at first the best Uncharted game. Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, that was great too. But I think the story in the second one was a little better. Uncharted 4 was probably the best I've played, so far. I mean that it had a great ending to that. Ending to that game was great. And it was so much fun. I felt like it was like the best Uncharted game personally, and I really liked the multiplayer mode in that. That was a lot of fun. So definitely loved the franchise of Uncharted. So now we have this new movie, the first Uncharted movie, and when it stars Tom Holland from those newest Spider-Man movies from the Disney MCU, and of course, Boston native Mark Wahlberg. Tom Holland is Jason Drake, and Mark Wahlberg as Victor Sullivan. And a lot of people feel like it was a bit of a miscast, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm just gonna say right now, this movie was directed by Ruben Fleischer, who directed the Zombieland movies and Venom, and I've seen only one movie from that director in theaters, at least. And Venom, I thought you already know I really liked, and I still really like that movie to this day. I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I have heard it was actually even better than the first. So I will give that movie a watch someday. But my personal favorite one of my most personal favorites from that director was Zombieland 1, and I thought it was one of the best comedies I've ever seen. But I haven't seen Zombieland 2, but I have heard, of course, very good things. So, enough of that. This might be this Uncharted movie, this might be my favorite movie from this director, though. Because it feels like the most fun out of all his movies. Honestly, I'm actually up there. Well, I'm actually up there with people that actually loved it. But there is one problem with the film, at least, and it is kind of a big one, which I'll get, and it is actually the story. The movie opens up with Nathan Drake and his brother Sam. And they're going through a museum in Boston, and that's where it opens up. Plus, awesome. So his brother is about to be arrested, so he runs away. And tells Nathan that he and him will be back together one day. He kept on sending him postcards, and then Nathan Drake, played by Tom Holland, years later goes by. He's living in New York City, and he is a bartender. He comes across Victor Sullivan, played by Mark Wahlberg, and they go off looking for treasure and stuff. They're looking for the boat of Ferdinand Magellan because he has a boat full of gold. But that's not the only reason, because there's an evil bad guy played by Antonio Banderas, who was basically part of the family heirloom, and he tries to. They try bidding off of a couple of crosses that are actually keys And so they basically have a big like chase scene in the middle of the auction or whatnot, and then they go across to other areas and they meet up with Chloe, which you don't see until Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Chloe, played by Sophie Taylor-Ollie, which I will admit definitely does do a good job as the character. And they're also, she's also, basically like she's supposed to be like a half good, half bad guy in the movie. Technically she was like that in the second game, but she does grow to be the actual good guy, later on in the series. And it is going to be exactly what you think it is. The biggest problem with the film is that it has a very standard story. Well, a little standard story. And what I mean by that is that it is your typical treasure hunting movie, and that's what the people are considering on what's one of the biggest problems. But yeah, we do see, because you do get to see the typical treasure hunting stuff, like puzzles, like looking through maps, going through different areas. You see the area of the map, but you see like a line going through something like Indiana Jones and whatnot. It's that kind of movie. But there is a lot more there is a lot more great things in it, than just one bad thing. And I'm not saying that the story is bad. It knows what it's trying to do. It's trying to be like the games, and when it does that, it's definitely great. And that's what I'm trying to say. The movie is great. It just needs a stronger story. And the other problem that people have with this movie is that it's the casting choices for both Nathan Drake and Victor Sullivan. And personally, I wasn't really bothered by it. Despite it being a miscast, I personally really enjoyed them as those characters. The actress who played Sophie actually does a really good job, and I thought that was a good choice. I never heard of Sophie Ali, but for what she does as Chloe, she looks like her. And she definitely does do a good job. There are two villains in the film. I forgot to mention. There's this other lady, that works for Antonio Banderas' character, and you probably have seen the movie already. So she portrays Antonio Banderas as Anne. And she basically looks for the treasure, with his crew, and they go find it and whatnot. The boat that you see in the movie wasn't supposed to happen until Uncharted 4, Among the Thieves' End. But the climax in that one is different compared to that one, though. Because despite my problems with this, I will talk about the good stuff. For example, like I said, I do like the actors who got to play the parts. I really enjoy that. I think they felt like they were having a lot of fun in the movie, and I feel that fun. 2, this movie's funny, really, really funny. But maybe not as funny as Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I will say in a minute, which movie is better. I also really like the action scenes. They're a lot of fun. They're super fun to watch, and it does make it a blast. There was a constant, excitement coming out of me. And, and since I guess everybody has seen the movie or not, but I will spoil one of the biggest I will spoil one thing about the movie. We get a cameo from Nathan Drake himself, Nolan North, which, when I first saw him, I literally flipped. I'm like, oh my god! He was only in the movie for a few minutes. He was only in the movie for 1 minute, and that's it. It was just a 1 minute cameo. And I thought that was so cool. Anything that any characters I do follow, I really enjoy. I really do get excited whenever they pop up. Say the Mandalorian appears in Chapter 5 of Book of Boba Fett, I get super excited. And whatnot, I thought that was so cool. The big climax was actually the best part of the movie as well. I also do like the puzzle pieces, that they do, just like in the games. And so it does have the spirit of the games, and that's one thing that makes it great. So, the effects of the film are also really good as well, and I guess that's the last thing I will say. So, I guess that is the last thing so far. So that's my thoughts on the movie overall. I say it's a little better than the Mortal Kombat movie, which I thought was great too, but the story kind of sucked than that one. This one doesn't suck, it's just kind of standard. Like the typical treasure hunting story, but there is a lot of comedy, there is a lot of cool, great action. The movie is constantly fun from beginning to end. The actors do a great job as the characters from the games. Even though it does feel like a miscast, I really don't think it really bothers me though. Because I love Tom Holland and I love Antonio Banderas. I love Mark Wahlberg. Those are really great actors. So if you haven't seen, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I say, well, you definitely check it out. I first watched it on Netflix a week and a half ago. And I just bought the DVD. So that way I could just watch it on digital or whatnot. I wouldn't, but I still wish I got the 4K version. But at least I got the movie anyways. Which is, you'll probably be thinking, which is the better video game movie? Is it this or Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is obviously the better movie. And I probably do say it is the best movie that's based off of a PlayStation and characters since the Ratchet and Clank movie. Which is still a criminally underrated movie. Super glad I saw the movie. I think it is really worth watching. And if you have Netflix, I say go ahead and take a look. Or if you got a Redbox around, like any other way to actually watch this movie, I say give it a watch. So hopefully they make a sequel to this. If you have seen the movie, what did you think? Comment below, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video. And I'm Justin the Bostonian, and I will see you later. Take care.